Today I'm going to show you two cards that I made using one die cut, one die set, and I'm calling it one pass two cards. So I'm starting here with a white note card, not a note card actually, a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of white cardstock, and I've taken the snowflakes from the large snowflake die, and I'm going to die cut these snowflakes on this white cardstock. The snowflake die is yet to release. This is a sneak peek of the new July Christmas on July release, which is going to happen on July 25th. And here what I've done is I've gone ahead and passed these die through my cutting machine, and it's very important to be very careful when you're taking these snowflakes out, so that you don't tear the piece at the bottom, the negative piece, as well as the snowflakes, because they are quite dainty. And here you can see I've separated the two. You need to keep both the positive and the negative of this die cut. And I've gone ahead and taken this Snowman cheer stamp set, and I've chosen two different snowmen. I've colored them and die cut them as well. They do have coordinating dies. Now it's time to create the card itself, and here I've taken a white note card, which is a top folding, and I'm going to adhere the snowflake kind of in the same order as I cut. So I've kept the piece on the side that you can see, the negative piece, to kind of take a look at how I have die cut them. And I initially started adding glue to the back of these snowflakes, and I realized they're quite dainty and the glue was oozing out. So then I decided to actually use my finger to spread the glue very thinly so that it does not ooze out from the back. I hope that makes sense. And I'm continuing to do this, and once I've decided, I will go to the next step. But here's where I changed my mind a bit. So when I've done adhering the entire snowflake, I wanted the panel to be smaller than the card base. And as you know, I've already started to adhere this to my top folding note card. And all I had to do was cut the base away, and you will see that in a moment once I'm done adhering all the pieces. And here is where I decided I want to die cut this piece so that I have the snowflakes to the center of the cardstock. And here I have gone ahead and separated, and now you can see how this piece looks. There is a little bit of a gap there, which we'll cover with this snowman right here. And I've gone ahead and also taken this sentiment which says "I love you so much," and I've just stamped it using my black ink. And the sentiment strip itself is actually just a rectangle where I did a rounding of the corners just to make it look like a speech bubble. And all it was left to do was to adhere my snowman and my sentiment to the cardstock. To add some extra interest to this very simple panel, I decided to add a few acrylic snowflakes. These are very muted, so they didn't take away from the card. And that snowflake really looked like a dry embossed piece on top of this white cardstock. And when you do that, when you do white on white, they do look like they have been dry embossed. And here you can see how the first card came together so quickly. For the second card now, I'm going to take that negative piece, and I've gone ahead and taken a dusty blue cardstock as well, which I'm going to die cut using the same rectangle die, and I'm going to adhere this negative piece onto this. But to adhere that piece onto the blue cardstock, I'm actually adding foam thick to the back of this negative die cut. Again, as I said, be very careful with this piece because it is quite delicate. Those snowflakes were quite dainty. As I said, they're quite intricate and they're very beautifully made. I'm going to adhere them to this panel very soon here. And there is a bit of a overhang on the sides, which I will go ahead and trim away, and that'll make it even with the base. And you can see how beautiful it looks. I really like the look of this. And then all that was left to do was take that second snowman and the sentiment again from the same stamp set, and I did the same thing with this as well. Stamped it on a white cardstock, cut it with a rectangle die, and then rounded the corners to make it look like a speech bubble. You can definitely, if you have a speech bubble die, you can definitely use that. And these cards turned out so pretty and so quick. And again, you just had to pass once through the die cut machine, and here you have two different cards instantly. And for this one, I decided to add a little extra shine to the card. So I went ahead with some iridescent crystal stones instead of the muted snowflake. And I really liked how this card turned out, and you can see all the sparkles. And then all that was left to do was to add this to another top folding note card. And this time I just adhered it directly with the glue because the top piece of the note card had foam tape already. And you can see how beautiful that is. Here's the look, and here's the look of the two cards with a closer look. I hope you enjoyed this video and you will give one pass two card a go. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.